Well, I don't know if any of these singles are ready to link up, but we had one of these ladies ready to pull up. Ready to Love, season 8, episode 5. Let's talk about it, y'all. So we're still at the hoedown, and what's its name? Red and Martin are in the bottom two. Jessica is giving this long deliberation about who should go and who should stay, and Red goes home, and there's no surprise there. What the heck is he wearing? Red, what? Who decided to send you there in no sleeves and that ugly plaid yellow flannel? I don't know what he was doing. I was real distracted by the outfit. But anyway, he goes home. He said basically it's not him that's not ready to love, it's them that's not ready to love him. And that part is true. But I also feel like nobody is really ready to love anybody in this group. I don't see any real connections. We're at episode 5. It just feels like people are still like sliding around in the same group of people. Like, and I feel like honestly, that's what real life is like. It's like you go to the club, you see what's gonna happen. Some nights it's a hit, and you know meet some people that you want to hang out with again, and other nights it's a dud, and you like don't connect with anyone. It almost becomes irritating. I feel like if I was in this process and I hadn't found no real connection, the game is not fun. So probably eliminate myself. But anyway, go home, Red. We don't want any more. So Herbert plans this group date. It's him and Quentin and Janelle and Katerina. I'm gonna call her Kat because everybody else call her Kat. First, Herb and Quentin, they arrive together. And then it's just them and Janelle. Janelle's a connection with both of them. It's funny, like the way they sat down. Quentin and Janelle sat next to each other. Herbert is across, and the chair next to Herbert is now left empty. I'm guessing production, planned it that way. But anyway, they sit down to talk. I'm guessing, I don't know if this girl knew that Kat was coming or not. It's hard to tell what's real and what's not real with the way things are produced. But anyway, they sit down to talk, and Herbert is like, I haven't talked to you in a minute. And, she right away jumps into, I can't get a text back. So immediately there's this energy between Herbert and Janelle that she's been reaching out and he has not been reciprocating. Quentin, on the other hand, he's been in it. He's in it with Janelle, allegedly. But that ain't really what she wants. And I said generally in these situations, because she says she didn't have no top. She definitely has a top. Generally in these situations, the one you really should be interested or showing your interest in is not the one you do. You do like one better. And right now, Herbert is not really giving her the attention that she wants and needs, but she's chasing him anyway. Oh, the way life goes. And Quentin likes her, seemingly. We don't know. Like, for as much as this show is giving us, yes, he is actively pursuing. She said herself, he putting the pressure on. Not too long into the date, Kat shows up. So now we know where Herbert's attention has been. It's been in Kat. So that leads us to Miss Janelle and her meltdown on IG last week. I thought Janelle had some angry energy, but when I saw the IG that she put out, I was like, oh, she's angry. Like, she is such an angry little lady. It's stressful. Like, it seems like very stressful to be her, because out of her mouth comes these words like, she's a bad bitch. She does this. I got businesses. I don't have time. I live here. I live there. I'm moving. I'm shaking. I don't be having time to be doing no 9 to 5 and after hours because if I want to go to the beach, I can go to the beach. I'm just that girl. That's how she, was selling herself. However, she's giving off some very much insecure energy. And like, bottom line, I don't know what's going on with her and this girl, Kat, but they got into it on Twitter and stuff. And see, these are spaces that I don't generally find out or follow. I hear about it once they start fighting with each other because we grown and ain't nobody trying to be arguing with somebody on Twitter. That's all for show, I suppose. She was on her IG though saying things like, I thought I was just getting on a dating show, and this is like, I don't know why I need to be having any interacting with these other women because it's a dating show, and I'm here to like see if I have love. And then out of the other side of her mouth, she said her her casting director or whatever, like, I don't know if she's trying to be an actress because she said we for sure gonna see her again on reality TV beyond this show. So I don't know what this girl does, but she's doing her thing and allegedly trying to find love at the same time. Anyway, when Kat showed up and sat down at that table, it was very evident that there was some energy going on. Kat was definitely not in the mood for a double date because that's stressful to be trying to like vie for the attention of this man. It's kind of lame. But it's a dating show and y'all signed up for this. So that's what the game is. Even though this Janelle girl comes off or like tries to put off all this confidence, when Kat arrived, you could see it like, the confidence dwindled down just a little bit. Especially knowing that Herbert, her first choice, although she hasn't said it yet, has been giving his attention to someone else. So he's like, when Kat sits down, he's like, how's life? She's like, it's good. Everything's good. I've been doing my thing, working out. And his response was, I see. And then Janelle is like, do you? So I feel like Herbert invited Quentin there to like keep her attention while he tried to play the room because he's not good at playing the room. I feel him on that. Like, that's just weird. Like, can't be myself if I feel like I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings or they're eyeballing every move, and it's a weird situation to be in. But Janelle played her card. She let herself be seen, but she did it before, like when she was calling this girl fake, which she was right about when she called about Kira and the fake Gucci bag or whatever. She fake all the way down to her fake Gucci bag. But that's neither here nor there. I felt like it was a bad taste for her to say it out loud. She could have saved that for her IG. That would have been funny. Anyway, they have this date where they play pickleball. Everybody's playing pickleball now. It's like tennis with a ping pong paddle. Well, that's innovative, I suppose. Anyway, they're playing back and forth. Kat doesn't appear to be that athletic. Like, I feel like she's not here to, break nails and, put out a sweat or what have you. Or at least she didn't come prepared for that. And they're both cute or whatever. They played a little game. Quentin and Janelle win. So he picks her up in celebration. She did say she wanted a man that could pick her up. Well, now here's one that can pick you up. He could pick you up, but he ain't torquing your jog because you're looking at the man on the other side of the net with Kat over there, who honestly, I don't see Kat doing too much of anything to get his attention besides being there. Like, she's not being overtly sexy or anything, nothing that we see. She just, honestly, she was giving this vibe like, I want to do a date that's not this. But I'm here, so I'ma just try to be pleasant. And that's exactly what she was giving. So they have a little sidebar, they switch up. Janelle has a one-on-one with Herbert. Kat is left there, to entertain Quentin. That energy was very off and very they're not into each other at all. They barely, their energy was like, well, so how's your day? Very much not, I want to get to know you better. So while Janelle and Herbert are sitting having a conversation, she confronted him again, like, I mean, I've been reaching out to you. Are you just not that into me? Which I feel like is a valid question. However, I feel like most niggas are not going to answer that honestly. That's not what they do. They gonna say, yeah, because now they know you like, now he knows you like him. So he's gonna like leave you like on this thing. Really, you could have just didn't text him no more and put your energy into this guy over here that's actually pursuing you. But that ain't what you want. And there's no reason to be doing, what you don't want to do. But just say it then. Same scenario. But it's all new. We're trying to figure this thing out. Anyway, Herbert said he kind of a like very chill, laid back, kind of moving individual. And he's not used to entertaining more than one woman at the same time. Now, she made this face, but the reality is that's what this is. It's a game where you have to bond with more than just one person, right? So he's still feeling it out and seeing what he wants to do. And apparently what he been doing is talking to Kat and allegedly Lee. Yeah. So, which, Lee been quiet. We haven't really seen any dates with Lee. Like the dates that we see with Lee are with people who she actually doesn't like. So far, Quentin likes Lee. We ain't seen a whole lot of Quentin and Lee, though. We've seen more of Quentin and Janelle. And apparently, all of a sudden, Herbert likes Lee. And he clearly likes Kat. So that means two other women besides just Miss Cranky over here. So she lets him know that he's her number one. Whatever he's been doing, like she's been doing her thing, but what she really wants is to be doing it with him. So now he's, clear that he's the one that she wants. And I guess he gonna see what he wants. But the point at which Miss I'm 41 years old, this is her on her IG, Janelle. I'm 41 years old and I'm still putting my hands on people. I'm sorry. That's just where I'm at. I'm still a work in progress. I guess Kat told this girl to pull up and she got her happy ass in her car and went to this lady's residence, outside. I done pulled up. What are we fighting for? I'm so confused because I feel like if somebody told me to pull up, I'm not because I don't want to, because that would just mean I'm gonna have to like probably perform some type of violent act that I am not interested in doing. So I much rather not be pulling up on people. I feel like I'm at the age where if you make me feel some type of way, I'm probably never going to pull up again, not in conversation or nothing. Let's just don't. Let's just don't. But anyway, Miss Janelle wanted to pull up. So I'm not sure like how much of a grasp she still has on these two, Quentin and Herbert. Herbert clearly has options. All the ladies seem to love Herbert, and Quentin likes Janelle. So there's that. They sit down at the table and they have this discussion about their non-negotiables. So Herbert's non-negotiable is he wants kids. Like if he's dealing with a woman and she doesn't want kids, like there's no point of him pursuing that because that's a big deal for him. That's a deal breaker for him. Kat says she's fine with kids. She's better with not having kids. Kat is young, so she still has time to figure that out. I think at some point she probably will. Because she didn't say no. I feel like people that don't want kids, like, don't want kids. But I feel like she's just not in that place yet. So if he's ready to like jump on in and have some kids right now, she's probably not the one. But he didn't say that. Quentin says his non-negotiable is emotional intelligence. And he's a trainer, so he's probably around a lot of young, silly girls or insecure girls. And that feel like they have to have, they're in the gym, so they feel like they got to be perfect. It's probably refreshing for him to be spending time with somebody like Janelle, who's confident, for the most part, until she's not. At least she appears confident. She's got her own thing going on. She likes to eat, and not as a dig, but she's not somebody who's like sitting around acting like they can only have 400 calories because, Quinn is a big dude. He probably likes to eat. So when you're talking about being in a social situation, it's fun to have somebody that likes to eat, try food and that kind of thing. So I think it's not like this expectation that just because he's a trainer, he needs somebody that's like perfectly fit in order to be a connection. He's looking at different stuff, emotional intelligence. He wants somebody who is not complacent, and content. Those are important qualities once you get past the physicalities. Not that this girl isn't beautiful, but she seems to be intimidated by, because she was in her IG saying stuff like they think that, the plus size girls can't get a man. And I'm like, who said that? What are you talking about? I don't even consider, like, she thickums, but it ain't like it's it's fine, girl. She knows it. She's a beautiful girl. Um, like I said, for the most part, I feel like Quentin is into her. It ain't the one she really wants. He says he likes, she's older, so that makes sense, like I said, because he's doesn't want to be around those silly girls. That's attractive for somebody who's more mature. To him, that's something and it feels like he's being true to what he said, and based on, like, the person that he's pursuing makes sense. I don't know, like, how to get past that nasty little energy that she has, but she might be performing in front of him where he doesn't see that, like he hasn't seen that yet. It's weird to me because when somebody says not content, because those were her words, she doesn't, feel comfortable with somebody who's content because that she's going to drive them crazy. I think complacent and content are two different things. I think it's important to be content at some point. That doesn't mean you don't still want to grow, but if you're never content, you're never happy, and you're always pursuing something else. And that would probably include relationships. So I don't know how Janelle, like, past her snarky little attitude. I don't, that probably comes from many other things. I don't know this lady, so I can't really, say who she is for real, but just based on the what we see. And she can say editing, that's all fine and cute, but I've only seen her be mean and snarky from the time she got there, except to the guys. Like, she doesn't have the same energy towards the men as she does towards the women. Because, like I said, it's all fine and good. You don't have to go into these situations like, I'm not here to make friends, because that just might be what this is supposed to be for you in order to get to your next step. You should definitely not be there to burn bridges. So we'll see what happens with Miss You'll See Me Again. But anyway, I feel like you should be able to be content. I don't know, that doesn't sound like a horrible thing to me. So that's unfortunate, because if you get in a relationship and you're content with the person that you have, that doesn't mean y'all can't grow. That doesn't mean you won't change at some point. Sometimes those changes don't necessarily match up, and that's when the struggles in a relationship comes. But you should be able to be content. Otherwise, you're gonna get a partner and be like, this is wrong, that's wrong. Let me see, gotta go do something else. But yeah, that's what this whole episode is about. Tommy wants them to discuss their non-negotiables. So this definitely kind of helps you see, like, who's gonna be able to pair up with who, like, in reality. Besides, she's cute, he's cute, and I like, they make me laugh. Unless you're a comedian, then you ain't funny. You serious. Next day is Chris and Aries. Chris invites Aries to his house, and I'm confused. 100% confused. And I'm gonna say this. When this girl was on when this Janelle was on her IG rant, she was calling out a couple of the guys, like as in outing them. And so, of course, when somebody says that and you're trying to figure out who it is, I'm not saying it's Chris. And I'm saying that sometimes when you give up a certain kind of energy, like I don't know what she's reading. I don't know why she would read that particular thing into whatever she's seeing, unless she's seeing more. I feel like Chris is looking for a mother figure, not for his children, but for himself. The whole reason why he said he was attracted to Aries, like, first of all, she's beautiful. She's a single mother of 2 sons. I don't think she's to be played with. Like, I think the funny thing is she's real cute and she does have a nice personality from what we see. So I could see why they would all be attracted to her, but she's not here to play no games. So he, has a nice little date with her. I feel like he's a nice person. She's a nice person. And so that's as far as that's going to go. Him, like with the whole mother thing, I thought it was really strange. Like he got emotional talking about the loss of his mother, which that's an emotional conversation. So I don't even know, like if you're not past the part where you're welling up and tearing up, you probably shouldn't bring that up on dates. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that you release when you're really getting to know a person, not on a date with the cameras around. So I couldn't tell. Like I was like, is he squeezing it out? Is he really emotional? I wasn't sure about that moment. And when he pulled the picture, so he reaches behind his sofa and pulls a picture out that had been painted of him and his mother. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, ta-da! I want to share this with you. I don't know why it's behind the sofa. I don't know why he couldn't just put it up wherever he was going to put it up at. It was strange to me. And I'm like, Chris, are you looking for a mother figure for yourself? Because that's not sexy. So if you want a woman to be attracted to you, you're going to have to like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is that you need. Like pursuing somebody that has the same qualities as your mother. I suppose it just was very weird, like the way he presented it, I guess. Just, the tears and the photo, and why was he so emotional in that moment about that particular thing? Other than that, like, I don't know. I don't see him being a match for her, and he's old enough. He has a baby face. He's just, I don't know. I wasn't getting no type of connection. I mean, yeah, she definitely wasn't. She was like, he's nice and stuff. That's, he loves his mom. That's a positive. Unique and Marvin go horseback riding. And he pulls out all the stops. He's like very much like trying to recreate a romance novel. It's creepy. All the way down to this whole date was a whole put on. There was horses, there was picnic baskets, there was wine and cheese and blankets and the lake and the perfect photo op for this whole seduction dungeon. Like, I don't know, take it to sweet innocent girl back to the dungeon. And I think the girl's going back to the dungeon. I'm not gonna lie. They keep saying that Unique is carrying this baggage. I don't know, like I don't see enough of the conversations to know that that's true, that she's carrying all this baggage, but whatever she's giving up to these men, they're feeling like she is not healed from her last situation, and maybe she's not. And at first I was like, so why is she gravitating towards the dungeon nigga? Because that seems like not good. But maybe that's just what she needs in her life. Like maybe this girl Unique needs to get down to the dungeon and get restrained and get booty worshipped and whatever the hell else he has going on over there. I think she should try that and like break out of whatever it is that she got going on with her that's putting up this, energy that she needs to be healed. I'm just saying it's the reason why she, leans into that because all the other girls are like, say what, dungeon? Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. Tell me more. I'm not going over there, but tell me more. That's where the other girls are at. She's all at, I want to see. I don't know why. um, unfortunately for her, that setup was all about him and his image. And I, after watching this, can't stand him more than I couldn't stand him the week before. Um, yeah, it was just, I don't know, his moment to like, he has all this footage for his, erotical, sexy novel, erotic novel. I might check it out now, see what he's talking about. I don't want to get to the dungeon. I just want to see if he's any good at what he claims he is. Because so far it all seems a little off. They start talking about, oh, they had this little kiss. It was really weird. They leaned in and she put her hand up so you couldn't see. And I was like, did they kiss or not? What was that? I don't know what that was. So then they start talking about non-negotiables, and he wants more children. His non-negotiable is he has to have a son. I don't really think we ever got to her non-negotiable because he said he wants more children, minimum two. That means if you push out two girls, then you're gonna have to push out some more until he gets a boy because he's absolutely gonna have a son. He said his life's goal, what is his life goal this week? Because his life goal changed. His life goal is to start his own family. Last week his life goal was to, reproduce the family that his parents had created. So in the family that his parents created, there's boys. And so he needs to have a son or, that ain't gonna work for him. And so then he said, basically, because he wants a son, I'm guessing that she has a kid. And I did not hear her say that she wouldn't have another child. She said minimum, like seems like weird that like, what if we don't have a girl? I'm not gonna keep popping out babies. That's what I heard her say. But so it brought me back to this girl Janelle and what she was saying, because she did say something about somebody being at a pride parade, which I feel like the sex man would definitely be at a pride parade. I don't know what that has to do with anything either, though, because I'm like, people have friends, and pride parades that nowadays are kind of like just a parade, that happens during gay days, and you might be down there and you might not, and it just doesn't like define anything except for you were hanging out at Pride. So I don't know why, she brought that up. She was giving me a little vibe that was like she's judging these men based on her idea of what masculine men or straight men are. I just don't I feel like the lines are a little blurred sometimes, but whatever she's saying, which is inappropriate, I think is not cool to be outing people, because I didn't hear none of these guys say that they were bisexual. If that's true, that's none of her business. But I feel like, when he start putting out all of these like disclaimers, I have to have a boy and stuff. And I was like, well, I mean, the freaky sexual guy is the freaky sexual guy. That doesn't mean anything except for, if he tried dungeons, he probably tries other things too. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, he meets a woman that has no children. That's probably what he's going to lean towards, because he has an unlimited amount of children that he's willing to, if it's a boy and a girl and we're done, white picket fence, if we hit it out the ballpark, good. If not, then we're going to keep trying until we get it right. That's where he's at with it. Marie really annoys me, because I think he's also very much fake. I think Marie reminds me of that dude that wants to like be the shoulder you cry on, tell you how your dude ain't shit, and then be there like, you know. He's that friend of your boyfriend who wants to be your shoulder to cry on, clean up the mess that his homeboy left behind. That's the vibe he gives me. He plans a group date. It's a improv date. Okay. It's Marie, Chris, and Herbert, and the women are Sierra, Kiera, and Jessica. None of these people like each other. So it was just a strange altogether. Chris and Jessica pair up on the improv date. Um, Last time we seen these two together, they were at the rodeo. She was pimping him out to say hello to all the ladies. So they get to see like how they vibe. Now he's vibing with Eris over there, all the tears and such. Now he's here with Jessica. Their improv was something about a car accident. I know it was very much combative, and the conversation led towards her basically wanting a man that's gonna be there to take care of her, both financially and in every other way. And he said the things that needed to be said. I don't know that. I mean, he said the right answer. I feel like you need to be connected if for any of those things to make sense, though. And I don't think they're connected. I think you could throw a bag of names in a bag, and whoever goes home next is whoever goes home next, because it seems like the men are staying based on their connections with the women's connections with each other. It's real catty up there. So I guess, friends are looking out for friends because nobody really likes anybody. And I don't know what the men are doing, trying to get laid, I suppose. They're trying to see who's, gonna give it up. Herbert and Sierra. Herbert and Sierra both want kids. Sierra puts off this very funny, she's an actor. One thing she did that annoyed the hell out of me is the whole time she was sitting there, she swung that hair to the front, swung it to the back, and over here, over here. Sierra seems like she's always putting on. She came off as very funny. He laughed. They, have things in common, but she still seems like a homegirl. I don't see him being attracted to her beyond that. And it's funny because when Sierra is in her confessionals, she seems more real. I'm not saying she's fake. I'm just saying that she puts on like she has this funny girl persona that, you want her at the party because she's a good time girl, but she's not vulnerable. I think that's what we're not seeing from Sierra. She's not really sharing who she is. She's always on. I feel like if she's a stylist, then that's part of her job. She's got to be at this party and that party and all that fake shit. So it's hard, I think, to stay genuine in those, or not stay genuine, but build genuine relationships in those type of environments. So she's used to being guarded. So, like I said, they laugh. She's a likable girl, but I don't think nobody like her like that, like that. And I wish you would take those fucking wigs off, because it's just, another distraction. It's almost like she's hiding, you know. Kiera and Marie have a improv conversation, which makes no sense. First of all, he the second fool. First, you got Red up here with this stupid flannel sleeveless t-shirt. Like, if your arms ain't like, know what I'm saying? Then you should probably not cut the sleeves off your shirt, especially when you got Quentin over here with no shirt on. Over here, this fool, Marie, fake ass Marie, is over here with some coveralls on, looking like he's little cousin Bubba. So I'm not gonna call him Marie. I'm gonna call him Little Bubba, because that's who he showed up as today, Little Bubba. They talk about their non-negotiables. Kiera she's fake too. Like I said, Janelle said that, and she projects so much. Like the same thing she was accusing Marvin of, like saying that he shows up as the person you want him to be. She does the same thing. Everything that comes out of her mouth as a critique to someone else is the stuff that in her is an issue. They're talking about their non-negotiables. All of a sudden, out the blue, she wants a God-fearing man, and he will have to be somebody who loves God. And I'm like, I haven't heard her say anything like that this whole time. When did that become your mantra, that you like are the church lady? I've only seen you cheering and bending over. Now all of a sudden you want a God-fearing man. And is it because Marie comes off as that type who probably grew up in the church? You know what I'm saying? And so then out of his mouth, he's just as ridiculous and fake as her. He talking about he wants somebody that's health conscious as he sits there with his stomach busting out the sides of his overalls. Health conscious. Then he names off all of the vitamins he takes. Like knick knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. I don't know what he's over there taking. He says some things the Lord just can't, help you with. Sit-ups. Yeah. The Lord can help you with sit-ups. So, and then child, fake, both of them. Then he said he was an activist. So out of the blue, she's a church woman and he's an activist. Actively doing what? And what is your ass wearing? How old is he? I feel like he's much younger than he looks. Because it's given 45-year-old pastor in training. You're not a real pastor yet. It seems like that's what you're working on. And since that's the energy you're giving, this girl decides she gonna say she's looking for a God-fearing man. She's absolutely not. She's not. She don't know what she wants because she don't know who she is. And he don't know what he want. He just know he wanted to like show up and cook for him because he ain't gonna do a whole lot of work to get to it. Health conscious. Child. Phil and Cat have a date. It's weird because again, I don't know these people, but it seems like Phil and Eris would make a better pairing just based on what we see. I don't know that he wants any more kids. Maybe that's why he's shying away from her. And that's not gonna work in her favor. But it is what it is. Unless you're dealing with some man that's like on the same page with the kids, that's gonna be that's not a challenge necessarily, but it might be a challenge here. I feel like all of these guys have decided they want more children. Um, but aside from that, I feel like it's a better fit for some reason. Just because Kat ain't serious, Phil. She's having a good time. I think she likes an older man because they are a little bit older, I suppose. And you would hope that they're a little bit mature, but they're not. Anyway, they their non-negotiables is they're not like trying to be on this church train. They're spiritual people, they agree on that, but they're not trying to push or lead with religion. Um, I don't know that I don't know that that's a great non-negotiable. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess maybe I don't know that that's a great non-negotiable. I feel like that's real easy to say that because you're going to run into most people that align with that. You know what I'm saying? Um, anyway, they did have a conversation of dating men with children, and she says she doesn't mind dating a man with children, as long as it's not like a little baby. Little kids mean mamas and daddies still have a different kind of bond. And I get that. That's where a lot of drama comes in. And, having your baby around some girl and, nobody really wants to be dealing with all that if you don't have to. I think Kat probably make a better stepmother than she will mother. And I think she has no issue with that. She would much rather your mama take care of you and she just be here for the fun stuff that happens when you come over dad's house. So on that note, they might be a match, but I don't know. I don't know. Eris might require a little more work, and that's because she is a mother. So you're taking on not just your children that you probably don't have to raise. If you're the dad, chances are the kids live with the mother. So you're not doing the day to day. So if you get with a woman that has children, now you're going to have to take on her children and yours, which means you're going to now have to up the responsibility of taking care of your own children so they don't feel like you over here raising somebody else's kids and not them. So I could see where that would be a lot of pressure. Um, Cat's just easier. She don't come with no responsibilities or nothing. She just come with cash. She could play with you. Y'all could travel and do all that fun stuff. And, so look, I'm trying, child. I'm trying to make something out of what they gave us. Anyway, we have a ridiculous group boxing date with Quentin, Unique, and Kira. There's no connection between Quentin and Unique. He brought up the fact that the guys, he didn't say the guys necessarily. He brought up the fact that she is still carrying around, or she's still healing. And I feel like she was honest in her answer. And he pretty much said he's healed through all the stuff that he needs to be healed through, and he doesn't have the time and energy to be helping you heal through yours. So thanks for the honesty. We're not gonna waste time here. Then she leaves, of course, because there ain't nothing really left to talk about, but I don't feel like they've ever been a connection from the beginning. So there's that. He then has a date, like a little one-on-one time with Kira. Kira comes out of her mouth with, "You look like you date white girls." Again, she's projecting. I feel like Kira, since she only hangs out with white people and has taken on their mannerisms and their behaviors, she probably also finds herself in social situations where she's the only Black girl, and the Black men that are in those same social settings gravitate towards the white girls. So probably the Black men that she's around all the time are those types of guys that date white women. Quentin is a trainer. That's one of those jobs that tend to seem like Black trainers date white women. I'm not saying that's what it is, the truth. I don't know who this man dates. He said he ain't never dated no white woman. And that could be true. I don't know. Like, I don't know him. I have no reason to say he's lying. He said he's dating some Latin women. He live in Texas, and that don't seem like too far off, the truth. The problem is, and I feel like he probably wouldn't have been, first of all, you don't need to ask that question, or there's a way to find out. You're going to find out. I just think it's something that comes up when you're getting to know people. If a lot of dudes date white women. I think the problem is when they only date white women. And a lot of that has to do with where they came from, their surroundings. I'm just saying. Anyway, and if that ain't gonna be the guy for you, if he only dates white women, obviously. But like I said, I feel like had that question come from anybody else, his response wouldn't have been the same. But it was coming from her, and he was probably feeling like, the nerve of you sitting up here talking like Sally Valley girl, giving me all of this best white girl energy, being rude, like in the way I think you think you're being direct, but the way you even asked the question was just, what does that mean? You look like you date white girls. What does that look like? You look like and sound like you date white boys. I feel like that's where his like outrage came from, where he was like, no, my mama and daddy Black love, my grandparents Black love, like these are my influences. I feel like he was real irritated because it came from you being fake. The nerve of you. That's what I got from it. And so, yeah. So he's like, you know what? I'm off that. And I don't blame him because he already has a connection. I think honestly, Quentin has it made up in his mind that the girl I like is over here, Janelle. I'm gonna pursue that. Like, why am I wasting time with this foolishness when I don't have to? Eris, I think he would like Eris, except for the fact that he's young and still wants kids, and so he's not gonna not do that. So I feel like all the guys like Eris. It's just you got to be at a certain place in your life to be with, to be with her, because she's in a certain place and she's standing firm on it. And She's not 30 something. She's, raised her children. So we're in Tommy's lounge now. We got to get down to the who's the top picks and the who's the bottom picks. Marie, his top pick is Jessica. When do we see him and Jessica together? This dude got a different top pick every freaking week. Every week. I don't know what Guy's turn next week. I'm gonna say Marie and probably Chris. Are they gonna keep Marvin around? I don't know. He keep on sliding past the radar. We'll see. Those are my picks for next week because I'm looking at who's left. Who's gonna say Marie? Sierra? I don't know. Anyway, his top pick is Jessica. So I guess we'll see what that is. Chris, of course, his top pick is Eris. Because he ain't really got nobody else, and I don't think he's her top pick, but that's neither here nor there. Christopher, his top pick is Kiara. I'm confused. Christopher, I forgot you were even there, to be honest. I forgot all about you until you said that. So, that's interesting. So she's been able to chameleon herself into turning into whatever it is that Chris is looking for. Well, we don't know what he's looking for. So, yeah. Marvin's top pick is Kat. When did that happen? We have not seen him with Kat. We ain't seen her say nothing about him. She says she like Herbert and Quentin. So I'm confused. And that's why I said that whole date that he set up had nothing to do with Unique. It had everything to do with himself. I also feel like I'll get to that. Phil's top pick is Kat. Herbert, his top pick is Janelle and Lee. So he didn't even say Kat. Herbert didn't. He said his top pick is Janelle and Lee. So Herbert was spending his energy not talking to Janelle. He was talking to somebody. Must have been Lee. We ain't even seen Lee in this episode hardly. And her name came up in two people's mouth because Quentin said his connections is Janelle and Lee. So Herbert and Quentin is over here doing the same thing. Herbert, is he trying to like slide in there and take everything Clinton like? What happened to Kat? Herbert. Apparently Kat was over there at the dungeon. Kira and Unique, I guess, ended up on everybody's bottom for the most part. Couple few people, I did hear Eris. Herbert said Eris was at the bottom because she doesn't want to have any more kids. However, he did say if she did want more kids, he would try to be, making her his baby mama. So then who do you like? I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is a mess. Everybody likes everybody, but this week nobody likes Kira and Aaron. So they end up in the bottom two. Kira meets up with Marie. I don't know what she thought it was gonna be. I guess she thought it was a date. Girl, he ain't on you. Who is he on? He on Jessica this week. So he wanted her to know basically that the guys put her at the bottom because they know where she was coming from with her nonsense. Where's your blackness, girl? She don't appreciate that. Them questioning her blackness. I don't know why they kept her around, but anyway, Unique is, the person who they feel like is not ready to love. They put Marvin up to telling her, and for some reason, like I was like, why is she on your bottom? Because Marvin is on her top. And why is she the person that's on your bottom just after that one day? I feel like Are they getting straight to the dungeon? Is there some type of rule where they can only date each other? Like, I don't know. I feel like Marvin decided he wanted to pursue whatever that is that was happening with him and Miss Erica, or not Erica, Unique. I feel like he thought that should be best pursued off camera. And I feel like she's very much into it. I feel like they might have left that little restaurant and went straight to the dungeon. But I also feel like he might be a little bit worried that this girl is gonna get turned out and then turn crazy. And then he gonna go in this house and she gonna beat in the dungeon without him being there, waiting on him to get home. I don't know. I just have a feeling that although Miss Unique got sent home, she did make a trip to the dungeon. Anyway, we're gonna see what's gonna happen next week. Ready to Love, season 8, episode 5. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next week.